Hello, my name is Lini Sharma. I'm energy healer and spiritual coach. And today I want to answer one of the questions I get all the time. What does a shaman actually do? So let's dive right in. So let's start with talking about the word shaman itself. The word shaman comes from the Tungus language, an old Siberian language. And nowadays it's used for any kind of healing tradition which fits into this picture. But it's actually only from Siberia. So we find shamans all over the world, but they are not called shamans. They have different names in different places. For example, here in Central Europe, we had the Celtic tribes, and there the shamans were called druids. But that doesn't matter, it's just a label you put onto them. Important is what they do. So shamans are men and women which communicate with the world of the spirits, with the spirits. That sounds all very vast, and it is. So I want to tell you a few things which a shaman might do. So again, this depends on where that shaman lives, in which tradition he was brought up, and what his community wants from him, so to say, from him or her. So one big task of a shaman is the storytelling. They keep the stories of the tribe alive. They tell the stories to the next generation. And stories are not just stories to entertain the kids or anything. Stories always have a deep meaning and always have a message and a lesson inside of them. So they teach the young generation again. So the values of the tribe are brought into the next generation. Same with ancient wisdom. They are the wisdom keepers of the tribe. They knew all the secrets, and they preserved it, so they only shared it with people where they saw, okay, they can handle that, or they will value this knowledge, and they also made sure it is not forgotten. So for example, in South America, this was a very important part, because when the Inquisition started, everyone who had a different belief than Christianity was persecuted, was murdered. So they had to keep it secret, their own beliefs, their own knowledge, their own wisdom. And only once it was safe again, that's not that long ago, they started opening up about this knowledge again. So wisdom keepers, storytellers. Another important role of a shaman is to conduct ceremonies, rites of passage. This is a little problem nowadays in our society. We get married on paper, but we don't get married energetically, and then the bond is not very strong. So for this we have rites of passage. In many cultures we can see the rite of passage when you become a man or a woman. There's always some, when we look into Africa, for example, some challenge you have to go through. Sometimes it's really scary challenges. But it marks this passing from a boy to a man, or from a girl to a woman. And same is the rite of passage when we die. So we die consciously. So shamans also do this. This is a very important part. Guide the community through rites of passage. So we go through the transition. We don't just have it on our mind or on a piece of paper that, okay, we are married now, but it is on the level of the soul, and it is a real transformation. So many things there. And obviously the part of healing is there as well. And this is what I want to talk more about today, because a shaman doesn't heal you. If someone promises you to heal you, you should be very careful. No one can heal you. And a shaman also doesn't heal you. There are three big tasks a shaman does with healing. So the first one is a shaman opens up a sacred space where healing can happen. He doesn't heal you. He just creates this bubble of timelessness where he lifts you up for a few seconds, minutes, maybe an hour into this space. And this is where the healing can happen. This is where your ancestors come and they help you, where you can go into this deep transformational process. But the shaman itself doesn't do all this. He just opens up this sacred space so healing can happen. The second thing, which is really important, is that the shaman can travel into the future. That sounds very, yeah. Let's not start with Star Trek and all, but it's like this. You can imagine our past is like a solid cord, really hard, and we cannot change the past. We can look at it and we can see what happened, but our future is not this solid string, one big string. Our future is millions of small strings, and we can choose which one to go. And you can imagine this is the solid part, and then it goes out like this, the future. We are right here. This is our past, we are here, and this is the future. So now I have the option to choose all of this, but I will choose, if I don't do any work, if I don't do anything, I will choose something in this line, which comes straight, okay? I will not go out here to these. But maybe I got a diagnosis of cancer, and when I go straight, I see, okay, that, very sick, okay, went through chemo, reoccurring, all this. And maybe out here, there would be the possibilities of healed. And the shaman can do this. The shaman can go and select a different destiny for you. And like this, your future self informs your present self, and true healing can happen. And it's like your future self reaches back to our present self and informs us and tells us, okay, you have to do this, 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 and you will go into this direction. So the shaman is able to see these alternate destinies and help selecting one for you and bringing you onto the right path. And this is one of the most important things of the healing work of a shaman. He gives you the options. There are countless options. You can do anything and everything. But he makes it possible for you to see the options outside and select the different destiny for yourself. And now the third thing with shamanism and healing. How do shamans heal? The third thing is ceremonies. Ceremonies is not just for celebration or for spending time together. Ceremonies start a transformation on the level of the soul. So for example, I break my arm. Then I do something on the physical body. If I want to change my belief structure, I work with my mind. But we have two more levels on top of this. So we have the physical level, the mental level, then we have the level of the soul and the level of the spirit. The difference between soul and spirit is, soul is our individual soul, spirit is where we are all connected again. This godly quality, what we call God, Allah, the mighty power. There's so many names for this. So the deeper we go, so for example, if I have a physical problem, I should always look deeper as well. When I have a mental problem, I should also look deeper into the soul level. And if I change something on the soul level, it will also inform the mind and the body. That means I have a physical problem, I can treat the symptoms, but that will not change much. That will not change the root cause. For that, I have to go into the soul level, and the soul level will inform the mind, and the mind informs the body. So true healing can only happen if we change something on the soul level. And this happens through ceremony. It doesn't happen through putting a plaster or through affirmations or anything. It happens through ceremony. This is how our soul works. Our soul understands transformation when we have a ceremony. And this is the very big part of what shamans do, is conduct ceremonies to change things on the soul level, so we transform as well on the mind and the body. Okay, I went quite deep today with all this, but I really wanted to clarify this because nowadays the word shaman is quite widespread. Many people call themselves a shaman, but not many people know what a shaman actually is and what they do. So I hope I could give you a good insight into that. If you would like to know more, if you would like to dive deeper, experience shamanic healing, experience ceremonies, I'll invite you to check out my website. I do offer shamanic energy healing as well as a one-on-one coaching program where you transform your past, where you heal your past, and you find your soul purpose and create the future you really want. I'll link it down below so you can check it out. I also offer a free call, so we can just talk and you can see if this program is for you or not. I'll also link it below so you can straight away book your free call with me. And as always, subscribe my channel if you like this video and if you want to know more about shamanism, yoga and Ayurveda spirituality. Okay, see you next time.